G'day and welcome to this week's video. My name is Robert Gowdy and this week we're going to have a chat about fees. It was based on a conversation I had with a client and we completed some planning for and did a statement of advice. And as part of a statement of advice, we need to compare their current scenario, so where their superannuation is now, and compare it to where it's going to, and compare the fees very directly. We did our research, as we've done for the last, me personally, for nearly the last 24 years, and we were able to establish the fees were approximately $13,000 per year, and we're moving to an arrangement where fees will be essentially the same. But the client called their current provider directly and they advised them of the administration fees, and there was no financial advisor on this policy at all, so they only essentially told them about less than half of what the fees were, and they missed the vital component of all the internal cost ratios, the ICRs, that gets paid to the fund manager themselves. Whoever we spoke to only gave them half the story, may well have been new to the company and didn't know what to explain. They could just see the fees that appeared on the statement itself, which made sense to the client. And I was able to prove that that I was right in terms of the fees by going on to the internet and showing the PDS and the cost within the managed fund itself, which don't appear on people's statements. So it was very confusing for the client and frustrating for me. Now, why are fees important? Well, I really think they're extremely important, and I've worked on this for a decade and a half, that whilst returns that we get from our investments are never guaranteed, but if I can reduce a client's fees by $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per year by choosing a more direct investment framework, instead of using managed funds all the time, we also have direct investments. If we can save $4,000 per year, they save that, and that is a guarantee. They save that each and every year, and there's a compounding effect of that saving as well, compared to investment returns where I can never provide a guarantee on what returns we might get moving forward. And a good example of the impact that fees have. So an initial $400,000 invested over 20 years at 7.5%, that is $1,784,000. If we just shaved off 0.5%, 0.5%, and of course I haven't taken into account any tax or anything like that, this is just pure investment returns, but shave off 0.5%, it's nearly $170,000 difference over that time frame. And we've got to remember that our time frame is generally very long. We are all long-term investors. At 49, I hope to be kicking about till age 90 in good health. That is a long time. That is 41 years. What makes up obviously the fee schedules that we need to consider? So when you look at your statements, you'll often see administration fees as number one. So that might be Colonial First State or MLC or AMP. So that's the administration fee, the platform fee. So that'll be there clearly to see. You'll also see an advice fee if you've got an advisor attached to your policy. So the advice fee will clearly be there. The third one, and the one that you won't always see, is the internal cost ratio as part of the managed funds. So the products where your money is ultimately invested, whether it's invested by Perpetual or back in the day PD, which is now Pendle, those fees, or Magellan, there's probably a name that I was going back a few years on some of those, those fees aren't often there. So where do you find those? You'll find them within the PDS. How many people read PDSs? Well, not terribly many, but it is disclosed within the statement of advices, but it's not disclosed necessarily on an ongoing basis within clients' statements. So for me, controlling and reducing fees is a big part of what we do with our business, and to do that wherever possible, particularly for non-superannuation, we try to stay off platform and we try to go directly as possible. So if we like Google or Microsoft, we'll go and buy them directly. And also that allows us to control tax outcomes as well, which is the next video I've got in line. So fees do matter. Fees are, if you can say fees, that is a guarantee each year. Returns are not, of course. And yeah, I hope that is a good explanation of the fee structures for the standard retail fund. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.